The old clock on the station wall ticked louder than usual that morning, or at least that's how it felt to Arav. He stood on the crowded platform with a small backpack on his shoulder and a heart full of dreams. This was the day he was leaving his village for the city, chasing a job that promised a better future. His mother had hugged him tightly before he left, whispering a simple line he had heard all his life: "Never turn your back on the people who helped you stand." Arav smiled at the memory, not realizing how deeply those words would soon test him. The city welcomed him with noise, speed, and endless competition. Buildings touched the sky, and people walked as if time itself was chasing them. Arav struggled at first, moving from one small room to another, doing part-time work while attending interviews. Weeks turned into months, and just when hope began to fade, he landed a junior position at a fast-growing company. The salary wasn't high, but the opportunity was real. He worked harder than anyone else, arriving early, leaving late, and learning every detail he could. Among his colleagues was Ramesh, an older man with tired eyes and a calm voice. Ramesh had been with the company since its early days, yet he remained in the same role. He guided Arav patiently, teaching him office systems, introducing him to key people, and correcting his mistakes without judgment. Arav respected him deeply, often calling him "Sir," though Ramesh always laughed and told him to just call him by name. Over time, Arav's dedication caught the attention of management. His ideas were fresh, his energy unstoppable, and soon he was promoted. With each step upward, his confidence grew, but so did his pride. Meetings replaced friendships, and deadlines replaced gratitude. Ramesh still helped him whenever needed, but Arav began to see him as part of the past, someone slow and outdated in a world that rewarded speed. One afternoon, a major project was announced, one that could change careers overnight. Arav was chosen to lead it. Excited and nervous, he worked day and night. Ramesh tried to offer advice, warning him about a small but critical detail in the process. Arav brushed it off, convinced that his own approach was better. He stopped seeking Ramesh's guidance altogether, believing he had outgrown it. As the project deadline approached, pressure filled the office. Investors were coming, expectations were high, and Arav wanted to prove he deserved his position. On the day of the presentation, the room was full of senior executives. Arav spoke confidently, his slides polished, his voice steady. But halfway through, something went wrong. A data mismatch appeared on the screen, one that contradicted his main claim. Questions started flying, and Arav froze. The mistake was exactly the one Ramesh had warned him about. The meeting ended in silence. The project was put on hold, and Arav was asked to step outside. His promotion was questioned, his credibility shaken. Sitting alone in the corridor, he felt the weight of his actions for the first time. He realized that in his rush to move forward, he had turned his back on experience, humility, and the very person who had helped him climb. Later that evening, Arav found Ramesh packing his bag. Ramesh had decided to resign, tired of being ignored and undervalued. Guilt washed over Arav. He apologized sincerely, admitting his arrogance and thanking Ramesh for everything he had done. Ramesh listened quietly, then smiled softly. He told Arav that talent opens doors, but character decides how long you stay inside. He reminded him that success without respect is temporary. The next few weeks were difficult. Arav worked under close supervision, correcting mistakes and rebuilding trust. This time, he listened more than he spoke. He asked questions, accepted feedback, and acknowledged every contribution, big or small. Slowly, his work improved, and so did his relationships. The company noticed the change, not just in results, but in attitude. Months later, Arav stood in front of a new team, leading another project. Ramesh was no longer there, but his lessons remained. Arav made it a habit to credit his team, mentor juniors, and stay grounded. He understood that turning your back on people, values, or lessons may feel like progress, but it often leads to downfall. When Arav finally returned to his village, he sat beside his mother and shared his story. She listened, nodded, and repeated the same words she had said that morning at the station. Arav smiled, knowing now what they truly meant. Life moves forward, but wisdom looks back. Never turn your back on those who guide you, because the path ahead is safest when you respect the steps behind you. The moral of the story is simple yet powerful. Ambition can take you far, but humility keeps you there. Never turn your back on people, principles, or lessons that helped you grow, because success without gratitude is the fastest way to fall.